Hello, welcome to some more Diablo 2 Eastern Sun Rises Hardcore. So if we go to the Barbarian, we're literally just going to be identifying things. All of the rare items that we collected while playing the game for the past few days. So all of the rare, unique, and set items, we will just pick them up. Looks like we found a plated belt somewhere. So no, let's just throw those on page 70 or something. So whatever these are, we got them recently. And then if we go to the first page, and then we could just start on page like 10, I guess. We'll start on page 10. Or we'll just start on page 1 because there was a bunch of rare unidentified ones here. So let's just start here. Let's look for helmets. We'll start with helmets. We'll just take any rare helmets that we can see. And then we'll start working on body armors and everything. So there's a unique one. So we're just looking for rare ones, and there's the swords that we bought. So now here's where the pages start coming in. So all of the sets and the uniques, we're just going to have to sort them later, put them on the proper pages, and then get all those together. And then we probably won't have to pick up any more uniques and sets. Well, maybe certain ones. Maybe certain ones, like if they have different ranges or something, or we could just keep on re-rolling the same rare unique item. There's gonna be a whole bunch of unique and sets that get in the way. So we could have organized this ahead of time, but that would have taken absolutely forever. So instead of doing that, we'll just go through them together. So there's going to be pages and pages. There's more pages. So that would be the Amazon helmet, Hawk Helms. Oh, I guess the next time we come through, there's going to be less items, right? If we're only looking for the uniques or only looking for the sets, there's not going to be as many of them. War hats. Now we'll have to decide what we do. Do we go to nightmare difficulty or do we stay here? We could gear out our character considerably in this difficulty. So let's see what we get. The mask item level 44 gives enhanced defense, regenerate mana, lightning resist, damage reduced by 7, replenishes 1 durability. So is that pretty good for required level 33? Requires level 33. Could have like plus skills on it, so, and it could be a nightmare difficulty item. So anything above that level wouldn't be good, and this wouldn't be good because it has no druid skills on it. It does have the perfect fire resistance on it, right? We have things in our cube. We have things in our cube. We have things in our cube. We just want to go to page like 4 or something. 6, 7, 8. Page 8. We still have things in our cube. This was from gambling. We threw things in there because we were trying to gamble for the hell difficulty items in the last episode. So what page did we leave off at? Maybe here. So now that we got all that's organized, where did that helmet go? In the cube, right? Yes, okay. So, fast recovery of fire resist, poison length reduced. Do we just keep it for now, just because it has max stats? Well, the only stat with the variance is that one. So, it requires level 22. Chance to cast Ice Nova Instruct, 7 to strength, 58 to mana, lightning resist, 14%. Or maybe we could just keep them as these, right? Just sort them by the level requirement. That would be something. This is like level 33 or something. This is like level 13. Although it's not really a good one because it's a druid helmet without any stats. So what do we do with those ones? If it's class helmet without any stats. Do we identify the class helmets last? That'd make things easier. They're level 22 or something. So let's just identify the regular helmets first. Let's identify BSLA. So 6% lightning damage. Here we go, 6% chance to cast Hydra when struck, level 25. Faster air recovery, lightning resist, poison resistance, and requirements negative 20%. Oh, level 25. Requires level 13. So the cool thing about tokenizing it is that you could tokenize it and see the level requirement of the stats on it And then when you untokenize it, it takes the level of the item. So if this was on a normal difficulty item, a level 13 character could use it. But because it's a nightmare difficulty item, you have to be level 25 to use it. So those stats specifically would be better on a normal difficulty item. So we could keep it, right? We could say here's level 13. If we had a helmet that had level 13 requirements, that might be something cool to get. Although it does require level 25 because of that. So the full helmet is plus 14 to shock armor, so that's pretty good. Shock armor is pretty good. Level 33 requirement, although it has like no other stats on it. But you could add other stats on it. And then this full helm, max damage, life, dual cold resist, so really low. But the level requirement is low, right? Only requires level 9 to use it. So that's a thing. Only level 9 to use that one. So we're just gonna have to have a page with helmets. So we could identify it like this by cubing it twice. That might work. Enhanced defense, life, lightning resist, fire resist, and poison resist. So it has 3 resistance, level 22 requirement. Oh, plus life. So actually, that's a pretty good helmet. Well, don't the plus 1 to class skills require like level 15? So those would be the better ones. So essentially, these helmets aren't going to be good at all. Plus 1 to scales require level 30. There we go. So if an item requires at least level 30, then you would probably want a plus 1 to all skills on like this item. Oh, and the cold resistance rolled perfectly. The strength didn't though. The strength, I think it's like 10. It's like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, or like 30 or something. But that would be a good example of a good level 30 helmet then. And if it was a class helmet, it would roll with some class modifiers on it. So let's just identify the Haga chain. 30% enhanced damage. So Haga chains are exactly like circlets. They're pretty much a circlet class helmet. So they can get circlet class modifiers on it. So they can get like the enhanced damage, faster cast rate, faster hit recovery, faster run walk, dual leech, and enhanced damage to weapons. So that'd be a pretty good level 9 helmet. And then considering all the regular helmet stats aren't really good at the lower levels. So there's a really good one. Paladin, plus 1 to Paladin, plus 2 to defensive RS, 30% run walk, poison resistance. Requirements negative 40%, level 30. So it doesn't have any requirements. Usually be like 15 strength or something. So cool. There's a really good Paladin helmet. So there's no Paladin specific helmet besides the circlet maybe. Oh, this is a circlet. So we wonder if it would be level required 15 on a Paladin, or if the faster run walk, because for those class specific ones, a lot of them, if it's on the class it's supposed to be, then they'll be able to use it earlier than they're supposed to be able to. It's level 40, chance to cast Shiver Armor, so 1 to Druid, extra gold, it only has 3 stats. So against the thing, it could have 3 to 6 stats on it. But if like 2 of these stats are garbage, they wouldn't matter anyway. So this 3 stat one could be better than a different one. If we make a Druid at some point, he would always have Shiver Armor on him and extra gold % chance. And then I think helmets can only have 1 socket even if they're rare though. What about the Druid? Plus 2 to Druid. So this one's level 24 required. Absolutely useless then. That's like the worst rare we got then. So we got an example of a bad rare. Chance to cast Charge Bolt when struck. Combat skills, plus 2 mana, poison resist, repairs durability. Requirements negative 30%. So the requirements negative 30% is essentially like a wasted stat. Plus 1 to combat skills. Essentially, especially on the lower leveled items. Maybe it's good for what? Maybe some nightmare, maybe hell difficulty items. Maybe hell difficulty items, because then the requirements actually mean something. So plus 1 to Amazon passive skills for hit recovery, level 18, plus 2 to penetrate, replenish life, poison resistance, almost 30%. Cool. So we could say that might be our best level 18 Amazon helmet. So we could sort these by class later too, right? We'll maybe have pages of the different classes and say, that's not a good druid helmet because doesn't have any class skills on it. And the stats aren't even really anything. I guess these stats could roll like terrible or something. Life mana, fight resist, level 22. Life mana, fight resist, that's it. That's all that one had. So if we go here, there's more helmets. These Dwarven circlets would come with a auto modifier of what, like, we don't know what the range is. I think we've seen 3%. Maybe it's just 5% to 20% or something. I have to figure it out though. But if we go here, there's we're just looking for helmets. Rare Great Helm. So looking at these, we're probably gonna find out that all the base type helmets aren't really good. Although there is a cube recipe to turn these helmets into circlets. So I mean, there's like a cube recipe, you just use the cube recipe and then the helmet class becomes the circlet. If you have the website, like cube recipes, you'd cube it with any of the helmets. Where's Alan Hagershane? What if we just type bone helm? Non-white bone helmet. So it has to be a non-white item. Alright. So you could take like a non-white cap. And then you'd probably have to re-roll these stats on it. So you could take like a non-white cap, ancient decipher, and a magic ring. So all of them is just one ancient decipher, one magic ring, and then just one cap, or one skull cap, or one helm, or one full helm, or one great helm, or one mask, or one crown, or one bone helm. And then it is converted to the circlet family. So then it'll be able to get these circlet modifiers like +2 to sorcerer skills, and then all the other things that circlets can only get. Oh, it means that the bone helm would be able to have dual leech on it. The bone helm is a level 1 required item. So it would just boost the strength requirement up from like 25 up to like what, 40, 42 or something? 45? So you could take a rare bone helm, use this, convert it to the Hagershane family, and then have a lower one. Although the Hagershane's a level 1 item, right? Hagershane's level 1 requirement anyways. If you go to armors, we'll just look at the Hagershane quick. It's essentially the Neo Circlet. If you go to Circlets, Hagershane, required level 1. So it's just a level 1 circlet because the original circlet required level 16 to use it. You need level 16 to use that, so the Hagershane, I guess, is a way to do that. It just doesn't have the defense, 15 to 25 defense. Oh, you could put more sockets in the other items. Hagershanes and circlets can have like two sockets at level 1. Maybe the mask or great helm could have 3, or the crown. Oh, the crown. So then you could actually have a level 1 circlet, but the strength would be pretty high. What is it, 55 strength? And then what did the going forward backwards? Alright. Anyways, you could turn any of these items, right? The great helm, the bone helm, you could turn them to a Hagershane. You could turn them into a circlet, so that they could have circlet stats on them. That's what that cube recipe means. So not limited to only wearing a circlet. Or I guess diadem. Diadem would be the top tier one. So the crown's probably interesting because the crown is actually the top tier normal difficulty item. Well, it has the most defense. The bone helm is basically the same thing. The bone helm would be the better one. So if we go through here, we're only on page 43. That's actually pretty good. We're actually doing pretty good. Helmets, face guards. Crown. So we have unique crowns. I think the unique crown has like a life leech on it, if it's the one we're thinking of. What if we go here, we could just identify more helmets then. So instead of using the ID scroll, you just cube them 2 times and then it identifies it. So cold resist, lightning resist, poison resist, damage reduction, plus the extra gold auto modifier. 2, 3, so it's like 4 resists, 4 resistance stats. Yeah, it'd just be a core cold resist, lightning, and poison, and then the cold resistance based on level. Damage reduced. So looking at all these, we'll be able to figure out good items later. Enhanced defense, poison length reduced. That's another terrible item, right? Just defense, replenish, cold resist, requires level 20. This one had a lower level, level 24. Alright, we probably have a better level 20 helmet. Like I said, we'll sort them by the level later and be like, what is the best helmet we have for this level? Because you can't just judge them by the stats on them. You have to look at the level of them as well. For when you pass them to a alternate character to level up, you can't be like, this one's absolutely amazing, get to level 33, and then he doesn't have any gear to get there. So that's probably another garbage helmet. It's the crown. What is the crown? Defense versus melee, poison resistance max plus life, level 22. So we could use more stats on it. And when we do go collect all these stats in the game and figure them out, then we will basically be able to know what kind of stats could spawn on them, and then we'll be able to just sit there and re-roll and re-roll and re-roll and gamble and gamble and gamble and try to eventually get some amazing ones. Oh, there we go, plus 3 skills on the Amazon thing. Only level 12 required. Poison resist, so it doesn't really do anything except for these skills. Have freeze duration requirements. So it has the skills on it, but the stats don't help it. Shadow strike, lightning strike, bow and crossbow skills. So the shadow and lightning strike. Oh, lightning arrow. Okay, shadow strike's a javelin. Poison resist, life mana, required level 30. So maybe it requires less on the Amazon. Or maybe the attacker takes damage of 76 as a high level modifier. So it's just a skill. So besides the skills, it's just a life, magic damage reduced, and then replenish. So replenish durability is terrible on a non-ethereal item. Though on a ethereal item, it's necessary. So plus 2 to summoning skills for necromancer. So the face guard is essentially a circlet. Face guard is a circlet. Plus 2 to summoning for necromancer, enhanced defense, life, replenish. So only circlets can get the plus 2 to skills. Only circuits can get a plus to character skills on them. So if it's not a circlet, then it's not a helmet. So you can't convert the class one. So what would be better than a circlet or a class helmet? What would be better? A circlet? Is a circlet better than a class helmet like all the time, just because it can have a plus 2 to the class skills? And a class helmet can only have, 3 different modifiers on it? We'll have to look into that more. We didn't actually think about that. So when you have all these helmets together, we'll definitely know everything about it. Oh yeah, we got the unique dwarven circlet. So I think at the end we're probably just going to gamble for a whole bunch of circlets and then just re-roll them circlets. Or maybe just go up in difficulties and then just get the better items. That'll be after upgrading the character though. So we just put them there and then just put one inside the thing. So there's two helmets here. His helmet is chance to cast Lightning Hydra, level 25 because it's a Saleh, but it has life mana, chance to cast level 20. So that's alright. The level 20 is just the chance to cast ability then. Max damage, enhanced defense. So requires level 3. Alright. Requires level 3. So the modifiers require level 2, but the actual helmet is level 2. So can have max damage, enhanced defense, 20 defense, strength, energy, mana. We won't even know if that's even better than a regular helmet. It doesn't have any druid skills on it. That's what it's missing. Max damage, defense, strength, mana, just like this one. Like, it's a good for a helmet, but if it's an Amazon helmet, it should have Amazon stats. So fast rate recovery requires level 8. Oh, full helmet. Yeah, so just a level 8 helmet. Max damage. So I don't think we need resistance too much, but if we do, we can figure it out. So there's another bad helmet. All it has is energy, poison resistance, poison length reduced. It could be better. +1 to sorcerer skills, so that's why circlets are going to come out on top. So only circlets can get the +1 to skills. So this would have like these modifiers on it, but it couldn't get plus the skills. Because +2 skills is like a huge thing in this game. Plus life. Well, I mean, it takes out some of the modifiers they don't need. Is there any bad modifiers on circlets? Is there bad modifiers on circlets that would give you a reason to not want to roll them? Defense, dexterity, fire, poison. So level 19. Cool, I think we're just about done the helmets then. So we only had like what, 65 or 66 pages or something. That was the set. There's one helm there at least, so we could start identifying then. Level 13, dual 26 resistance. Dual 26, half restoration. So it would have been nice if it was a dual 30 resist. I guess it is cool that they're both the same. Although it's not really useful. There you go. Cold, poison, requirements, mana, lightning, chance to cast on hit. Level 20. So the chance to cast the spells when hit is something unique for these things. You can't really add chance to cast on hit to things. So level 15, 50, chance hit recovery, dual resist. Spirit Crown, Valkyrie, dual resist, poison length reduced, level 30. Oh, +8 to decoy. So that means it's an Amazon helmet. We're gonna say any class could use the decoy skill, but because it's an Amazon helmet, only the Amazon can use it. So it's a good level 5. So item level 5, we did go to lower areas because we're leveling characters. We did still pick them up. So this actually would be a good level 5 item, maybe. Maybe the stats don't really matter at those low levels. Maybe at the low levels, the stats don't matter as much as we think. There we go. That's it. That's all of them. That's all the helmets. So I guess this helmet was just talking about helmets in the game, identifying helmets. Requires level 25 because it says LA, so the level requirement be lower. Level 19 stats. Life, mana, poison resist, magic damage reduced by 7. Mana, regenerate mana, lightning resist. So you can get regenerate mana on helmets. It's not specific to circlets. Chance to cast fire armor when struck. Has damage. Because you can get a chance to cast on circlets, correct? Defensive aura is fast run. Because you can't get fast run walk unless it's a circlet. That's right. You can't even get faster run walk, like prefixes or suffixes. What is it? Run, boots and circlets, 30% faster. Level 29. Oh, only boots and circlets, so only circlets can have the faster run walk. I believe only circlets can have the faster cast rate, right? Faster cast rate. Circlets, staffs. So only circlets can have faster cast rate. So he's going like 10, 15, or 20. So I guess circlets, 20% cast rate, 20% run walk. Circlets can't have attack speed on them. I thought they could. Weapons, gloves. Maybe not. Defensive bars, run walk. Mana, a whole bunch of mana. Oh, gold and magic find requirements. So there's a good gold magic find for the paladin. Increases his run walk too in what? 140 mana almost? 130 mana? So that's actually a good decent base rare for the paladin, and it's a circlet. Combat skills barbarian, +5 to slow missiles, +5 to inner sight. So inner sight is the one that lowers their resistances, their defense and their physical resistance. So that's absolutely amazing for a barbarian. If the barbarian could just sit there and cast inner sight himself without being an Amazon or having the mercenary. We are a barbarian. We could use this helmet maybe. Because we were using the Act 1 mercenary because he had a inner sight. Let's just put that on and check that out for a second. That way we could look at it. So we actually got an upgrade, kind of. And it happened to be a circlet. Fast hair cover, vigor, ancients, frenzy, battle cry. So I guess the only reason for the class specific ones is if you're targeting specific skills. Because there's a +2 to skills going all helmets. We're not 100% sure. But that's all of the helmets. So if we go here to skills, we just got a new skill. We could use it if we want, right? Slow missiles is the Amazon skill. Ranged attack slowed by 33%. So the Act 1 Rogue casts this all the time. The Act 1 Rogue casts slow missiles, so they slow the ranged attacks. The Act 1 Rogue casts inner sight, illuminates and weakens nearby monsters. So these are both Amazon skills. The Amazon has both of these. The Amazon, we used this one. The Amazon, you have to use this one on hell difficulty to break the physical resistances. So defense 27, physical resist -17. So the Amazon could level it up a lot better, and the Amazon gets these synergies, so the Amazon could make the physical resistance go a lot higher than this, but -17's alright. So maybe amplified damage would be better. Although plus skills do boost this, right? It is, well, we don't have any plus to all skills. Plus skills do raise the level of it, so if we got like +5 to plus skills, it would actually be level 10, so it might be a bit better. All resistance is 30, so there's something that the barbarian might potentially use at some point. So we got a bunch of helmets here. We could probably just throw the helmets somewhere. Or just, where's the helmet page? So we'll go through these. We'll have to identify them in the coupons. We actually put a bunch of the coupons, like on page 5 is where the coupons start on the things. We already took one load of coupons here and put all of them there. So where do we put all these rare things? We know that's the helmets. Do rares start at 2, 3, and 4 rares, and then like 5's coupons or something. 5's uniques and sets. So we have regular helmets and then class helmets. So maybe now that we looked at helmets a lot better, we could pretty much, we don't need to store these in our bank, right? We don't need to store the base items anymore. All we know is that we need circlets, and that's it. Circlets only. Circlets are the only things we need. I would save space here, because we just want the first page to be about items. Same with this thing, the armors. There's so many different types of armors that they don't fit on the first page. So we're gonna have to put them back on the first page. Essentially, the first page is just going to be what, like light plate, elven chain, ancient armor, and full plate. Just those four. Those are the four that you need. It's only those four. Actually, this one doesn't decrease your run walk speed. This is the one that doesn't decrease your run walk speed. That's right. 269, and it has decent armor, so maybe this one's good to the Elven Chain too. We're not talking about helmets though. So the first page there, and then we'll just start putting rares, some good rare stuff on the second page. So we already looked at those. We don't care about the level requirements anymore, do we? We're not 100% sure. We're going to just start putting these on page 3 for now. So we're just gonna throw these in the air. We'll come back at some point and organize them, but here's all of our rare helmet tokens. Here's all the rare helmets that we've gotten the whole time. And I'll go through them and get rid of a whole bunch of them and look, but what we learned about this episode is essentially circlets. If it's not a circlet, it's not a helmet.